All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Listen here, man, I recently dropped my top 10 fall and niche fragrance list, and I got some of you who hit me up based upon something I said within these videos of, hey, I would like to see something a little bit more affordable. So I figured I would get you guys and girls today. And listen, I actually get it, man. And listen, I get it for real. When I say that, I know fragrance is a hobby of a lot of us out there. We enjoy wearing fragrances. We enjoy the beauty of it. We enjoy getting that compliment and smelling amazing. But I also know that not everyone has the disposable funds or discretionary funds to spend on fragrances, especially in times of today. That's why today I'm giving you 5 cheap alternatives to expensive fragrances that are actually affordable. Now, because we are doing this around the fall time, I figured that this video would primarily focus on fragrances that would do well in the fall. If you'd like to see a continuation of this style of video for winter, spring, summer, etc., let me know. And how you do that is by watching this video, dropping a like, and leaving a comment for your boy. Now, without any further ado, let's get down to Big Beard Business. Now, the first fragrance on today's list is one that is going to fill in the spot of this thing here, which is Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. Now, there are a number of fragrances out there that we can insert in this more expensive price point, whether it's Gold Dolphin for Parfum de Marly, we also have Ombre Leather, we have A.G.E Leather, and the list goes on. There are a number of fragrances that we can fit in this spot that all have that raspberry leather, saffron type of feel and great vibes for the fall time. This fragrance is one that I truly enjoy, although I prefer to reserve this one for the winter time. I listed Ombre Leather on my personal fall designer list, but this fragrance here is the more expensive of the two. Now, this fragrance that can really take in and fill up that spot comes from a company called Versace, and this one is Versace La Yukon Pour Homme. Now, this one was actually given to me by a subscriber that I met down in Miami at Osme Perfumery back in 2018 that we met. He hooked me off with this thing. He sent it to me in the mail after the conversation that we've had, and this thing is really, really enjoyable. This is the fragrance that I decided to put on when I don't want to use this juice or Ombre Leather, and it actually has the same feel. You had that raspberry type of vibe, so you get some sweetness there, you get some spices from that saffron, and then that leather here provides some elegance in this fragrance that I personally think is enjoyable. This fragrance right now can be purchased probably on Amazon or other places for below 75 bucks. Now, I know that's not the cheapest thing out there, but this thing does smell high quality. It has a good feel to it, nice longevity and projection, so you're going to get your money's worth in a fragrance like this if you can't afford the retail version of something like this, which I believe is $500 and some. All right, nonetheless, this one is a great alternative. So if you're looking for something that is going to perform that cooler weather, still have a hint of sophistication, you could dress it up or dress it down, solid scent La Yukon Pour Homme from Versace. Next up, we have a fragrance from the house of Nishane, and this one has Turkish rose, ash pepper, and you can see from the bottle I have in my hand, this one is A.G.E. This is the fragrance that I've personally become to love a lot. Now, although I just was introduced to this house this year, I've been again on this buying spree. I've gotten a lot of them within my collection at this point. Maybe I'll do like a top 10 video. I've been going in on them, okay? So solid house in my personal opinion. This is one that I really enjoy. Again, I gave this one a 10 out of 10, and this one is definitely going to be one that performs and works for you this fall. It has this fruity nuance to it, but it's not in everyone's price point, even at discounted. So the fragrance that I'm going to tell you to take a look at if you can't afford something like this one, if it's 100 or 2 out of your price range, this fragrance may work for you. This comes from a house that I haven't talked about in a while, but I still have love for them, and this one is Alexandria Fragrances Hani, like Hani Hafez or Ani, but don't confuse this one with Hani Hafez and the fragrances that he has released under his name within his fragrance house. This one is supposed to mimic A.G.E from Nishane, and I think that this one does a relatively good job in doing so, especially at the reduced price point. To me, this one is powder, it's vanilla, it's wood, and it has some of that fruitiness there. It doesn't have as much fruitiness on the dry down that I get with A.G.E, but I think if you're in a pinch and you're not looking to spend a ton of money on a fragrance, and this is definitely one of the routes that you can go and still get at least that same type of feel and vibe with it. The difference in it is obviously this one is a 55 ml bottle and this one is a 50 ml. So you have to put it together for yourself, see which one is going to best suit you. And for those of you out there like, I'm not sure what to do, what type of fragrance do I want? If these fragrances are more difficult for you to find, or if you're not one that like to go out to decanters and testers to decide what fragrance you want to buy, then this is also a good stepping stone. I know a lot of people out there who are making some big bank who still decide to wear replica fragrances in the meantime, or clone fragrances in the meantime, until they decide, hey, this is a fragrance that I really, really want, and they go out and spring on the full bottle. So there we have it, man. Honey Alexandria fragrances to match A.G.E. Since I'm talking about Alexandria fragrances, this next fragrance has been no stranger to any of my list here. And as I've mentioned here recently, I have the official bottle here. And this one is Naxos 1861 from the house of A.G.E. This one is honey, this one is lemon, it has some bergamot in here. And this one is really a nice, seductive type of play. This one has this upscale type of feel and vibe to it that garners compliments for sure. And on the flip side of that one, the fragrance that has done so well for me over the years, and many of you out there, is Alexandria Fragrances 1981 X. All right, so obviously you see the play on the name there. This one is from the bottle, says this one aromatic, sweet, honey, and tobacco, and that's exactly what you get with this fragrance. Now, this fragrance here, you're gonna have a lot more natural type of smell with the fragrance. But again, if you're looking to save some money, if you just outside of your price point, then you may want to try this one out. But for those of you who have the extra coin to spring, even on discounters, again, I have some discounts for this fragrance. I'll leave it linked down below. You can definitely spring on this one, and I think you will be satisfied, especially when it comes to that fall and winter type of feel. This type of vibe fragrance isn't one that you would see often on a designer fragrance, and a lot of people out there rocking designer fragrances. So this one is going to help you stand out in a room full of average Joes. You can be not so average with this thing here or this thing here. You'll at least smell apart from the crowd. So there you have it, man. 1981 X from Alexandria Fragrances to match 1861 Naxos from the house of A.G.E. Our next fragrance on today's list from the original is a 2012 release, and it's one that I really, really enjoy. This whole house is one that I've enjoyed, at least from the notes or the fragrances that I've smelled from this house. This one comes from Byredo, and this one is Byredo's Black Saffron. Now, Black Saffron has juniper berries, you have some leather in this thing, and you also have some black violet with this. And it's light, that has that signature DNA that you get with Byredo fragrances, but this thing is a great fragrance all around. I don't really know many fragrances that smell exactly like this, but I do know one that comes to you at a fraction of the price point, even at designers. I've recently mentioned this fragrance. I won't say recently because it's been a few months since I've talked about this fragrance, but the fragrance is called Opulent Saffron from the house of Al Hermine. Now, I do know some guys down in Coral Springs that have this fragrance within their stash. Hopefully they still have this one available, but they're called Sniff Perfumes. They're not sponsoring this video. They don't even know this video is being shot, actually, but I figured because I know they have this one available, I'll direct you there if you're looking for it. Of course, I'll leave everything linked down below, and I did have a discount code on this thing. I'll put it there if it's still active. Good job. If not, my apologies in advance. All right, but these two fragrances, obviously these things smell pretty similar, is why I'm putting them next to each other, but very, very nice fragrances in my humble opinion. If you're looking for a fragrance that's going to be something to help you stand out within this fall time, this is definitely a way to go. Again, it has that leather type of vibe. You have that saffron. It's those notes in itself. It's stuff that you saw in the first fragrance that we talked about. Is, you know, Tuscan Leather has those same type of feel, but this one is definitely a lot lighter, and it's different enough to want to have both within the collection, and as you can see, I have this one and both of those. So obviously, I believe that these fragrances definitely will work with each other. And if you want a different type of vibe, then here, this is what you do, all right? Boom. Good distribution on these things, which is really, really nice. Doesn't come off as chemically or anything like that, and it kind of still has that same signature light airiness that you get with this one, and also you get that spice from the saffron that is just done well in my personal opinion. So if you're looking for an alternative to black saffron, again, this is something that is unisex scent, as most of their fragrances are, and this one definitely plays that same lot. So opulent saffron from Al Hermine, and you also have Byredo's black saffron. And the final fragrance on today's list of 5 cheap alternatives to expensive fragrances that are actually affordable come by way of the house of Kilian. Okay, so Kilian Black Phantom, this one made my fall niche list, although one of you trolls out there says this one is not. Listen, this one made my list, and I feel that this one has been a staple in my collection. This one is a lifer for me, and although this fragrance I'm going to talk about smells similar to this one, I still opt to wear this one, although many of you will decide to go either way on this one. The fragrance that I'm talking about is one that I actually reviewed, and I really liked the way I did that review. I'll try to link it down below, but I thought it was funny. It did this Batman type of thing with it. You have to go check it out. But this one is Dark Knight from the house of Alexandria Fragrances. Now I know, I think 3 of the 5 that we talked about here were Alexandria fragrances, but to me, from the fragrances that are clones that I have within my collection, these are some of the more affordable options out there, as clones in themselves can still be expensive, and I wanted to make sure that these in itself were actually affordable to the masses. So I've talked all I need to say about these fragrances over and over and over again, but this one is sweet, it's cacao, it's chocolate, it's amazing. Okay, this one has a similar type of vibe to it. Distribution is good there. See, it's been a while since I sprayed that thing. Yeah. Yep. But both, obviously, this is the real deal Holyfield right here, and I opt to wear this one over this one simply because I think that for me, where I am in terms of the fragrances that I do enjoy wearing, this is one of my favorites of all time, right? If not, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites of all time. 10 out of 10. And if I'm going to wear a fragrance that I love and enjoy that much, then I opt to go with the real deal, simply because in Florida I didn't have plenty of opportunity to wear it, so I was really forcing situations when I would wear this fragrance. So I would wear it in the fall, I would wear it in the spring, I would wear it in the summer, I would wear it in the winter, and I would force those opportunities to do it, so I decided to go with the real deal. But here, I think I'll have more opportunities to wear it, therefore, to make sure that I'm not killing this bottle, I'll probably rely on this one a bit more, which is why I decided to make sure it made today's list. Both super solid fragrances in my personal opinion. I'll let you decide and figure out what fragrances will work best for you, but I wanted to bring you some more affordable alternatives to some expensive fragrances out there, fragrances that I really, really enjoy, as you can tell from my talks about these fragrances over the years and kind of what I've done with those. So there you have it, man. That's my list today. There are only 5 there, obviously a lot more that I could do on this list, but I felt that these 5 needed to be brought to light, especially since some of these were on my fall niche list. If you'd like to see like a part 2 or part 3 of this, let me know. I will be sure to do that for you because I have other alternatives out there, but definitely wanted to make sure I brought you these to satisfy the urge and craving of some of you out there who are looking to save some coin. You can also use that coin. Check out my fragrance collection, dropping in less than 1 month. There you have it. Those are 5 fragrances. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are back again. Be sure to check out the links down below for everything you need to know about these fragrances, my fragrance collection, and discounts that I have available on everything that I do have them on. Before you go though, hit the goddamn bell.